Welcome back, Cincy Local and Live. It's Randall Pink.
Cincinnati Ty.
And we got...
djfresh, man. What's up? How y'all doing?
How's it going, man?
Yo.
Hey, I'm blessed.
Coming off of that Nook interview, man, we've heard a lot about you. Great things. I know you've been doing your thing in the city, so why don't you tell them about yourself and what you got going on?
Oh, my man. My name is DJ Fresh, professionally known now as the world famous DJ Fresh. I've toured with artists, Lil Baby, Future, Rich Homie Quan, Meek Mill, Nicki Minaj. It's been a wild ride, man. I've been in the industry, the professional industry, I say about 14 years, but total on the DJ side, we're looking at almost 21 years now.
Wow.
DJing.
So you've been perfecting your craft up for a long time.
Each year, just finding a way to get better and reinvent.
That's a nice amount of longevity.
Yeah, it is. And it's obviously proven in longevity, you know what I mean? So to be able to tap in with those types of people. So what started your whole journey as like a DJ and stuff like that?
The origin story. So firstly, I'm self-taught. Like I didn't go to school for it. Nobody sat me down and said, this is what you need to do. I just kind of taught myself, like watching. This was before the do-it-yourself YouTube days. Like before you could go on YouTube and learn anything.
Yeah.
This was before tutorials. Yeah, this was before that. So I was at a party with a friend of mine who's a DJ. And one day he took ill at the party. Like he was sick, man. He just kept having to leave the booth and go like throw up. Like he was just real sick. His name's DJ Carl, by the way. Still great friends to this day. Kind of like my mentor, at the time. So he went to the bathroom and he was just like, Fresh, just play the next song. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had been watching him enough to at least know how to put the next song on, And this was before computers became industry standard. So this was like DJing off of CDs where you had different mix CDs. You put one CD in to find one song, and then you put another CD in to find another song. We're not doing albums. We're doing just like songs off of mix CDs. So I put a song in, or I put a CD in, I select the song. It was whack. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know what I was doing. It was whack. Like the next song, like what is this, man? Like what are you doing? Like, but he still took ill. So then I played another song, but that was a good song. So I ended up playing the second song I played was like a good song. So the reaction that I got off of the good song, I was like, man, that's all right there. Like I think I want to do this. So time began to pass on, and I just used to just watch them. I never asked them how to do this, how to do that, I just used to watch them. And then one day before a party started, I just got on one day. And I was just doing what I saw him do. And he was like, he just looked back when he like, hey man, you really been watching me, huh? I'm like, yeah. So one day he just put me on for my first party. And it was up from there. Like, you know what I mean?
You remember where that was at?
Yeah, it was in Louisville, Kentucky. The party was at Yuri's. It was this place called Yuri's. It's a tax building now, but it was this place called Yuri's. And that was also like one of that same place was the day he saw me and was like, not that same day, but that same place is where he saw me and was like, hey man, you're pretty popular. Like, I want you to get down with my team, help me promote parties. And it kind of, and it grew from there. So my name at the time, like, cause I was they used to call me ATL in Louisville, because when I moved to Louisville with my dad, that's where I came from. So they used to just call me ATL. My actual DJ name was DJ First.
Okay.
That was my first DJ name. They used to call, like, my nickname was ATL, but my first DJ name was DJ First. And because my name was Jermaine, and I was my mama's first son. I'm my mama's only son, but I don't know, it just sounded cool to me at the time. DJ First. But I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. I don't like the way it sounds on flyers. Like, I don't like it, DJ First. I didn't like the way it sounded. So I was looking at bits and pieces from Nook interview about my name. That story is partially true. We sat down and we was talking about it, but how I got my name, I self-named myself. Like nobody was like, you should be DJ Fresh and that. So what happened was I was in college. I went to Kentucky State University. This is my freshman year. And I was still DJ J First at the time, but nobody knew that I DJ at the time. I was just going to school. And I was like, man, I gotta reinvent myself. Like this is me talking to myself. I'm like, man, I gotta reinvent myself. I don't think I want to be ATL no more. Like that's what I was telling myself. So I remember I'm walking on the yard one day, and we, everybody's freshmen, everybody's new, we meeting each other. And somebody asked me my name, and I said, Fresh. I just said it, and then it was like, Fresh. I was like, yeah. And it was like, okay, what's up, Fresh? I'm such and such, such and such, or whatever. And so it kind of exponentially grew. Like everybody see me and it was like, oh, what's up, Fresh? What's up? So the name grew.
Right.
And so then when I DJ'd my first party, they said, okay, well, what's your name? I said DJ Fresh. And then it just grew from there.
Took off.
So did DJ ATL follow you into Cincinnati? Because I remember not you being called DJ ATL, but I remember chatter of you being from Atlanta.
Yeah. So that was like a thing because I knew people in Cincinnati that knew me in Atlanta. So it was just like it kind of went because there was a lot of people that was from Louisville coming up to Cincinnati and they was calling me ATL too. And everybody was like, man, it was ATL, man. That's fresh. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like a talk, but I ended up just...
No, it wasn't kind of like a talk. It was a talk. it was a fresh here.
Yeah. So funny story, right? So let me see. It's a couple parts to this story, but I'm gonna do this part first. Now, before I started coming to Cincinnati, I'm DJing at Kentucky State University, and Cincinnati already had like prominent artists that were doing their thing. Lil B was going crazy. Musa went to K-State.
Yeah.
So
shout out Musa too.
So we all just, I'm knowing everybody. Musa the man at the time too. Like
that was a good era.
He is the
Sparks
man, bro. So he got records. I made friends with everybody at the school from every city, with Detroit, Cincinnati, Chicago, Milwaukee, Indianapolis. I made friends with everybody. So, but the people that I clicked to were like really tight with Cincinnati. So they was putting me on all of the Cincinnati music and everything like that. So I end up meeting Funeral Fresh, who was DJ Master Fresh. Well, he changed his name so many times. It is Skinny Fresh. Then it was Funeral Fresh. Then it was DJ Master Fresh because he graduated from the DJ Scratch Academy. Master Fresh. Boom. So I met him before. And we were both like I met him in college because he was coming up there DJing. Lil B was coming up there. DJ Smooth was coming up there. We had been knowing each other for years and everything. We kind of like, we already knew that it was two of us.
Was this before or after Big Spenders? Big Spenders. That was, oh my god.
This is after.
That was after that?
This was after.
Okay.
So we linked up, whatever. So now, fast forward, I'm already in the Cincinnati culture. I dropped a mixtape. I dropped a mixtape in college. It was called FNF, the Refund Check Edition. Okay. The first F was for Fresh, and the other Fresh was for Fitted. My brother DJ Fitted, he's out there in Atlanta right now. We was DJing together. And on the tape, I had BCE on the tape. I had Scally on the tape. I had Lil B on the tape because these was all the records that we had cranking up at K-State. Like I was playing them all. So I put before I even met these people, I was like, man, we rocking with these songs. We put all of them on the tape. Everybody doing the old man, everything. We did the Cincinnati culture took over in Kentucky, like, and we used to go crazy. So that's how it kind of the culture thing became a thing. So after I dropped the tape, they take me to Cincinnati for the first time. This is no, he on what they call him Hendrix now, but at the time in school he was just Wante. Wante, he got the No Love brand. He's from downtown.
Mm-hmm.
They took me in and they brought me to Cincinnati for the first time. When I got to Cincinnati, this is before I was like a DJ here. This was just me, my first time ever coming. Like never had ever been to the city. So they brought me here and I went to a club called Velvet. Velvet was owned by Velvet used to slap, man. Shotgun Club. Front, back, Shotgun Club. Yeah, everybody loved it though. Front door, back door. It was lit.
DJ booth in the middle.
DJ booth in the middle though, like to the side.
That's crazy.
It was like on a wall basically, but you could see right, you could see left. Eventually they moved the DJ booth up, but it was dope. So now I'm just an attendee. I'm not there to do nothing. We just going to the club to have fun. So I'll never forget the doorman. He owns some clubs now, but the doorman at the time, his name was Mike, Big Mike. One of TC's best friends. He was at the door when I left the club. Skinny Fresh was actually DJing that day. He was DJing that day. You know, it was love, whatever, boom. So we leaving out the club. I tell Mike, I say, Mike, I'm gonna come back to this city and I'm gonna take this whole thing over. I will never forget it. Wante can attest to this. I'm looking at him in his eye. I said, when the next time you see me, I'm gonna take this whole shit off. I'm gonna take the whole thing off. He laughed. I was like, all right, whatever. All right, I don't know you. He ain't know me at the time. Right. But I was like, whatever. He played it off. All right, so boom. We go back to Kentucky. I still hadn't been to Cincinnati in a minute. That was like the first time I went and one of the last times I went before I became who I am. So I'm in Kentucky. I flunk out of school, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I had a chance to go back, but when I went back, I couldn't go. That second semester, I had a chance to go back to school, but when I went up there, they said something that happened with my like financial aid or whatever, and I wasn't able to get in. I was really gonna take school serious that time, but I wasn't able to get in. So I said, F school, like,
right.
I'm just gonna do my
shout out financial aid.
Shout out to financial aid, because if it wasn't for me doing that, I wouldn't even be here. So I said, you know what? I ain't going back home, bro. I'm grown, man. I ain't going back home. I'm gonna make a living out here. So I stayed in Frankfort, Kentucky, where the school is at, and I just built the djfresh name. I was DJing. I was still on campus, still running around, still had a meal plan card, still the man on campus. I'm DJing all the parties. Like, nope. If you had a party on campus, if I wasn't DJing, it was nothing. Like,
right.
Whoever was the DJ before me,
it was over, huh?
So it's a wrap. We want fresh. So I'm building the name. Boom, 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 going crazy. I'm doing Kentucky State. I'm doing EKU. I'm doing University of Kentucky. I'm doing Western Kentucky University. I'm doing Lindsey Wilson. I'm doing all these schools, homecomings, all their parties. I'm going crazy. Skip a couple years, bumps and bruises, whatever. University of Kentucky homecoming. I'm up there. I got a DJ an after party. That step show after party. Boom. So how me and Nook met, we were at this girl's house. Like, it was a group of girls that stayed on campus.
Who are the girls, man?
The girl I used to mess with, her name was Maya. But at the time, I don't know whoever these girls are. But thank you, Maya and them.
Yeah.
It's good. So, boom, we here. I'm sitting on the couch. He's sitting on the couch across from me. Ed, I don't know where he at the time. And we sitting in there, and I'm going over this playlist. He's like, And I'm talking to him, he's like, what's up, bro? I'm Nook. And he was like, I rap. I was like, all right, that's what's up. So he said, I'm like, well, I'm fresh. I DJ. He's like, all right, whatever. So, boom, the girl's address. We leaving out. They get in their own car. I hop in the car with them. Like, just, we don't even know each other. First day we met. Now, I'm dragging this bag. Like, you feel me? Because I got all my equipment in this bag. Remember, I done moved, so I'm just getting rides from people and I'm, bumming around.
Oh, yeah.
I got my equipment in this bag, my laptop, whatever. They like, man, what the hell was it? I was like, this is my DJ stuff. So boom, I get in the car. So we going to the after party, bruh. Now, I done told them I'm a DJ already. But they like, whatever, man. Everybody a DJ, whatever. So I'm like, nah, bruh. Like, I'm really a DJ. I said, you ain't gonna have to work. So we go to the club. He's like, man, Ed is driving. Ed is like, man, we ain't gonna be able to get in, bruh. It's gonna be too packed. Like, they been coming like, I'm like, bro, we good. Like, I'm just calm, like, bro, we good. Bro, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, nah, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, we good, man. Just come on. He's like, where we gonna park at? I said, just park right here and just get out the car. He was like, hell nah. So he talking to Nook, like, he telling Nook, like, man, if we get up here, man, and they try to send us to the back of the line, I ain't gonna be with that. I'm gonna be embarrassed. Like, we gonna cut all these people and they ain't even gonna be messing with us. I'm like, bro, trust me, we good. The line long as hell. Like the line is long. You like the Ritz days, it was like long like that.
You gotta spin the block.
You got to like, what? So we get up there. I knock on the door. Like, I'm like, bro, just come on, man. I knock on the door. Dude, open the door. Fresh here. Dude, pull a mic out of his back pocket, grab the mic. I'm like, they with me. This is my man Nook. He rap. That's his manager. Walk in the door. DJ Fresh in this motherfucker. It go crazy in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, they looking around like, well, this motherfucker got like, he really is. Party was off the chain, man. It was off the chain. So from then, we sitting there after the party, like looking at each other like, damn, so you really do DJ. Like, this is like,
now.
It's on now. Now we locked in. Now we friends. You feel me? Off of that instance. So I go do my own thing. We keep in contact. Yeah, he go do my own thing. A couple years pass. I'm back and forth between Kentucky State, Lexington, and Frankfurt. I'm trying to find my way. A couple of messed up relationships, toe up, whatever. I'm damn near homeless, moving around. I gotta move back home. I moved back to Louisville, whatever. And this is where the Cincinnati story comes in. Like the real full-blown Cincinnati story. I call Ed and Nook on the phone. I say, man, I'm broke. I said, I'm broke, bro. I ain't got nothing going on. But I know what I'm about to do. I said, if you let me move with you, like let me live with y'all, bro. When I get on my feet, I'll pay it forward. Like I swear. I said, I'm gonna take it over, bro. I'm gonna pay it forward. They said, cool. I moved with them. I ain't had no equipment. I found some equipment on Craigslist. I said, hey Ed, man, if you go half with me on this equipment, I'll pay you back. Like, but this is the best equipment they got. At the time, it was the best equipment out. They wanted $800 for it, and Ed gave me the money to buy the equipment. I think he gave me the whole $8. Like, he gave me the whole $8 to buy the equipment. We bought the equipment, and it was over with. They took me. I'm DJing Mad Frog. I'm DJing The Mix.
So when you touched down, not to cut you off, when you first touched down, when you got the equipment, what was the first spot you landed in? Because
the very first, I did The Mix.
You had the Ritz, you had Celebrities, You had Motions.
Mm-hmm.
You had
every club I did, it was crazy. But my very first place that I did was the Mix. Like it was the second Saturday I think I did. They used to do second Saturdays.
Yep, that was dope.
I did second Saturday for the first time.
Somebody getting kicked out of that.
Struck it, boom.
And it was like live too. It used to let you come through the back door. All the ladies come through. You get the stage right here in the back. You can see everything moving coming through the back.
It was cold, man.
Oh my goodness.
And I clamped like, so I'm talking on the mic and DJing. And at the time, DJs wasn't doing that in Cincinnati. Like, it was like you had a host and a DJ. But when they found out that
2 for 1,
the host was just like,
it was over with.
Yeah, like for a long time though, like there were no hosts, none. But shout out to Jetty Jody, shout out to Pro Style Rail, shout out to Bravo, and all of the hosts at the time. Like it was a thing. Like, you know, you got to book these. Fresh is hosting and DJing. Why do we need to book you guys?
Right.
Like, what's up with that? So, no more hosts, you know, and you know, it was up from there. I had a run with Max, where I was doing all of his clubs. You know, I did a run with TC. I was doing Velvet every week. I was doing Inner Circle at Annie's.
Mm-hmm.
TC was the first person to give me what I asked for. Like when I wanted to be paid, TC for the first time, he said he had never paid a DJ. It wasn't even that much at the time. But he said, I ain't never paid no DJ this, but you worth it. And he paid me that one time. He never did it again. But he did it that one time. But me and TC are really, really good friends to this day. TC is the owner of Velvet. He was the owner of Velvet. Now he owns,
shout out TC.
Shout out.
He owns Newport Bugattis. Like he been doing this years. So, you know. And I don't want to seem like I'm long-winded or nothing like that, man. But, you know.
No, it's the story, man.
Yeah. So you came back and you took over Cincy, though.
Yeah. Long story short, it was a wrap, man. I made Cincy mine, and when I seen Mike, I said, I told you. He was like,
my first win of you was Celebrities.
Ooh.
And at that time,
that was a run.
Smooth was in there.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Slick Rick.
That was the Fix Squad, that is.
Real Fix Squad.
That was the Fix Squad.
And it, like I said, at that time it was another Fresh, Skinny Fresh, was doing this thing, and like DJ Fresh, and it was around that time in the movement of, I want to say Lantana. It was like right BCE, coming out of BCE into Lantana blowing up. We had a show. It was a Gucci Man show. I tell you, jam packed.
Nah, bro.
I'm talking about
Celebrities was the time.
So it seems like you have a unique drive to keep on driving. Where'd you get that from as far as the motivation? When, for instance, you telling was it Mike, hey, I'm gonna come back and take over Cincy? Like what made you have that drive and that motivation?
To be honest, and this ain't nothing against my brother, Master Fresh, but at that time, about 15, 16 years ago, he was DJing, and I was like, if they excited off of this, when they see me, it's gonna be a rap. Like, and he was actually doing good. Like, he was doing really good, and I was just listening to his set, and I was like, this all they want? Like, oh, I'm about to fucking go crazy. Like, I'm about to turn this bitch up. Like,
yeah, because it was
because he wasn't even talking at the time like that.
For me, you coming into it, it was like almost soon as you touched, it was like, all right, DJ Fresh, and it was just a rap after that. Like, just from the time that I heard your name and your introduction into Cincinnati, from where I knew it, just being in the mix. When you came in, it was like DJ Fresh. After that, it was just DJ Fresh.
Like I
it seemed as if you were around first, and then it kind of. But I mean that. Not like it took time, but how you were everywhere. You would have thought that you were already
that I was already
in
around.
the mix.
Yeah.
Like it was so crazy that people. I was going so hard that people really thought I was from. People think I'm from Cincinnati. Like
Right.
I'm not. But when I go on a stage and I go on these big concerts and tours, I always say Cincinnati. I'm from Cincinnati. I rep everywhere. I'm from Louisville. I'm from Cincinnati. I'm from Georgia. I say them all because that's where I'm from, because those are the places that made me. But that's how hard I was going in the city that people was like, he going so hard in the city that they will swear they went to school with me, everything. Like, they all of that. Like, because I made sure that I put it on my back when I represented it.
Yeah.
You know, my friend Terrell, he'd be like, man, Louisville raised, Cincinnati paid, man. That's what he say. He's
Nice.
like, boy, you Louisville raised, Cincinnati paid, man. And you be going crazy. I love him, and I love that, you know, because that's what it was. Cincinnati was like, this is really the city that blew me up. Like, I couldn't pay for the amount of love that I was receiving from everybody. Even when I was blackballed for a minute too, you know. But even then, I was
talk about that.
Yeah. That's easy. So the blackball situation. There was a stint in my career where I was working for a promoter by the name of club owner, bar owner by the name of Max. I'm not gonna diminish what he was. He was a lot at the time. His name is Max. Everybody know Max, man. If you've been in this game anywhere, anytime in Cincinnati, Max's name gonna come up. I remember I got into it with this man so much because I was so good at the time that he wanted, you know, the talent all to himself. You know what I'm saying? So he had me working 7 days a week.
Wow.
Literally. I was at the Nugget on Monday. I was at $2 Tuesdays on Tuesdays. I was at the Nugget on Wednesday. I was at Celebs first on Thursday until Plush came about. And then I was at Plush on Thursday. Celebs on Friday, Celebs on Saturday, and then the Sunday night moved. It changed throughout the year. We might be doing a few Sundays here, then go to another spot, do a few Sundays here. 7 days a week. Kept me working. And I'll never forget, he had put my name on the wall at the Nugget. Like, he was fucking with me. He got my name spray painted on the wall. Me and him had got into it. The next day, it was off the wall. One day. The name didn't see the light of day for one day. I saw it, and I was the only person that saw it. Like, we got into it, boom. But that wasn't the one that blackballed me. It was just like, whatever. We into it, but you can still work up here, whatever. So, I go to Panama one spring. One spring break, and I'm like, I know I got to get back to DJ $2 Tuesday. I know I got to get back. But my original ride end up not coming back. So I'm like, bruh, what the fuck? Like, you know I had to get back. I end up getting on the Greyhound. So I end up having to get on the Greyhound. Coming from Panama City, wow. Bruh. They calling my phone. Big Twin calling me. Max calling me. I ain't answering. I finally answer. Fresh, where you at? I'm on the way back to Cincinnati, man. I'm on a bus. I'm in Panama. Where Max started cussing me out so bad. He started calling me everything but a child of God. Like, everything you could think of. He was going crazy. He was like, you ain't even got to worry about coming back. You should have just stayed where you was at. Hung up the phone. The next day, I called him. He's like, bruh, stop calling me, bruh. Don't call my phone. Cuss me out, click. And he took me off everything. Monday to Sunday, took me off of everything.
Who replaced you in that?
At that point, he didn't care.
I don't remember. I remember.
That's how
era,
that's.
But at the time, it was for a hot second that I had booked you for a couple of events that I had, and I say that because you said on that Wednesday nights, it was the Nugget going on. So I had the red line, and I was trying to figure out where the crowd was that I couldn't get that pumping on that Wednesday night how I wanted it to. And maybe for like 3 weeks, me and you were in the mix doing business, trying to get that together. Like, you know what I mean?
I remember that.
I'm wondering
I remember
if was that space? Was that around that time?
Because I had already built the.
Right.
I had already built the groundwork, so me not being there, it didn't even matter. They was gonna come anyway. They felt the presence because
Lucky
people
was in there, right?
Yeah, they was asking me where it was gonna be, but it didn't matter. So, he was just filling it in with DJs. He just tried different DJs to fill the void, but it never was the same. So now the other promoters wouldn't mess with me because at the time it was so much promoter beef. They wasn't messing with Max. Like, so no, you can't work for me. Like, no. So this is how the Rich came about. So Drew heard what was going on. He gave me Fresh Fridays at the Ritz. I'm doing Fridays at the Ritz, you know. This is a decline of the Ritz. I didn't catch the full run of the Ritz. I caught the back end. Yeah. But, you know, we doing it. They used to come, whatever. They used to pay me. I used to do it, whatever. I had a Ritz run. It was cool.
Ritz went to be what after that?
Aqua. It went to be Aqua for a minute. So that's what it was, though. It was Aqua. I had a commercial on the radio, blah, 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 whatever. So during the blackball, I'm broke. I ain't making no money. Christmas come up. I go to my mom's house in Atlanta for Christmas. Now, mind you, through this whole year, they've been bringing art, like through the whole, before that, a couple years before that, they had been bringing artists. And every time they would bring an artist, I'd be the one DJing the show. So they had an artist by the name of Rich Homie Quan that we all, everybody knows and loves. He had came multiple times. Every time he came, no matter where he came at, if he was in Ohio, I was DJing. Dayton, DJing it. Columbus, DJing it. Cincinnati, DJing it. So this year, I kept in contact with his brother. So the year I went to Atlanta for Christmas, he was having a bike drive at this school. So I called his brother. I'm like, hey, what you doing, man? He's like, yeah, we had this bike drive, man. Pull up. I pull up to the bike drive. Not trying to do nothing. I just pull up to, show love, show face. I seen him. He seen me. He was like, hey, Fresh, what's up, man? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm just kicking him with it the whole day. The manager approaches me and was like, hey, man, you still trying to get out of Cincinnati? Because at that time, I was like, man, I got to go. I'm trying to get out of here. I can't work here. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get out. They had a meeting that day. Out of nowhere. And that day, they decided that they wanted me to be the DJ. Like, that day. And there was a DJ there that was my friend. We back friends now. But we fell out off of that situation because he thought that I came to take his job. Like that I was initially, and I've never spoken about this actually before today, but he thought that I was gunning for his job. Like I came to take his job. Like this is why I'm here. I'm going to be cool with this guy so I can take his job. But it wasn't even me. I didn't initiate it. I didn't start it. Like I didn't do it. I was just presented with the opportunity, and with an opportunity like that with my back against the wall, I took it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against him. They had internal issues, like for whatever they had going on, And, I've seen him, that DJ, I've seen him, because we was on another tour together just recently. He was DJing for another artist. And they tried to do the same thing again. I said, I'm not doing it. This time I said no.
Yeah.
This time I said no. No, I'm not doing that. That's my boy. We just got back cool. It's gonna look like I tried to do the same thing again. And plus I'm on here as DJ Fresh, like myself. I don't want to DJ for no artist. So you know, rewind back to the story. I become Rich Homie Quan DJ. I'm out of the city. I done moved to Atlanta. I'm doing shows all over the globe, whatever. And the first show back in Cincinnati was at Celebs, Max's Club, and he had to let me in. Like, he had to let me in.
That is a full circle right there.
And it was kind of like, I don't like it, man, but it is what it is. And that was the thickest it ever been.
Yeah.
That night, my return with Rich Homie Quan, that was the thickest it ever been.
It's like, I think the same thing for Rich Homie Quan. Rich Homie Quan came in the game. He had this, like, I don't want to say if it's a few because I don't know exactly what it was, but like, are you trying to be like Future thing that was buzzing around? Everybody was saying that, but his longevity into the game was like almost instant.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how I seen when they hit Cincinnati, because usually Cincinnati would be known as the place that get it late. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, they late on that. Like,
But surprisingly enough, Cincinnati was so tapped into Atlanta that we caught everything on time coming from Atlanta, though.
It dropped Rich Homie Quan.
It was like that. See, now, this crazy story, I brought the emergence of Future to Cincinnati. Like, the actual presence of Future. Because that summer before, I spent it in Atlanta that whole summer. So I was catching all of the records that were coming out. Racks on Racks, Magic, Tony Montana, Watch This, all of these crazy records. I'm bringing them, I brought them back to Cincinnati and I was playing them. And it was like, bro, what? They was like, man, what's this? This ain't whatever.
No, Tony Montana.
A month later,
Montana,
a month later, it was the biggest thing in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then International Records brought them. And then they brought them.
I remember that.
I built the buzz.
Sleepy and
Cook.
Yeah, I remember
Real, man. It was a big thing. P30. They brought him to Annie's to perform. Rocked it. But I had already put in the groundwork because I've been playing the records. Like, they wasn't playing none of that. I brought the emergence of Future, and then Future became like the biggest artist in like Cincinnati to bring at the time.
Stayed it.
Yeah, like for a long time, bro. For a long
I would
time,
go out
bro.
on a limb and say it was between him and Gotti. Like, I'm talking about.
Gotti,
Damn.
the Future for the longest. And I ain't gonna say out of these three, Jeezy, Gotti, and Future.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as in the city, you want to bring them out, that's what they was doing. Jeezy, Gotti, and Future. I don't think that them shows never miss. Working here, never miss. You know, but with Rich Homie, man, the downtown, like a lot of music sense was birthed from downtown. Like, they were the people who were getting the music and turning everybody on. Like the rich kids and all of that. You know, Scally had records with the rich kids, so that was a big thing. The emergence of them. You know, Lucci came out. You know, they was dropping off CDs downtown and people was pushing them here. Lucci blew up. Like, I can say, you know, the West Side too, but a lot of the emergence of the Atlanta music scene came from the relationships that they had with the people from downtown. Like, they built real, you know, relationships and stuff like that. Like, because even, you know, Maine and Real and all that, you know, they from downtown and stuff too. So, you know, it was like a really, really, really big thing. So it was bound to catch, you know. Rich Homie had that run to where, you know, when you could ride around and every car would be playing it.
Yeah.
You know how Baby, when Baby emerged, he was another person that had that, like.
But how could you not? Every song on it knocked.
Every song, bro. Like,
Every song.
It didn't matter. From the first mixtape on up, they was just like, boom. I promise I would never stop going in. That went crazy. Never, still going in.
Yeah,
still going in, bruh, and then still going in reloaded. That was a tape you could play every song in the club, every single one, and it was gonna rock.
Then him and Future were going back and forth because when he dropped that, I like the stance on you. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness! I'm like, oh, they going crazy.
They,
In
bruh,
Atlanta.
and then one day we on a plane, bruh. We getting on a plane. Future is on the same plane as us,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
and they sat beside each other on the plane and talked. After that, they went to the studio and they made like 10 songs. But
That'd be a dope
they
album.
got 10 songs that a lot of them people ain't never even heard. Like I think that Champagne Shower ended up dropping that they had together, Future and Quan. It was called Champagne Shower, but they got a whole mixtape for real together.
Yeah.
But that conversation, it was had.
And that
probably what
speaks
stopped that.
volumes as far as you know, being able to work their stuff out like that.
Mhm.
You know, I think Cincinnati kind of gets into a weird shun the shoulders type of thing,
Mhm.
type of vibe, and it's like, look what that just happened with Future and Rich Head.
Exactly. And it was, I've seen some iconic moments in my tenure as a DJ. Like, the stories you wouldn't believe.
Let's
bro.
talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about how you start getting into some of these bigger stages. Because before, I'm gonna just say maybe 4 years, and I know you got a whole lot of longevity before that. It starts to me and tapping right back in where I was at, coming back to the city. The little hiatus. It's like just packing these big arenas, man, and it's like this person, this one person has 50,000 people going nuts in here. Like, where was that a drive of what you say when you start bouncing around with Quan, or was that something that came after that? Inside business moves that you were making?
Everything exponentially can't even lie started with Quan. Like, as far as the big stage is concerned. I was already making relationships with people, you know, like Future. I knew him before Quan and all of that shit, so I kept that. That's always a excuse me, a relationship I kept open. But I would just make sure that whoever the promoters was, that they saw me when I did my thing. Like before Quan used to come out, I used to give him a show. Before the show, I was doing backflips. I was going crazy. I'm talking to the crowd. I'm saying stuff that they can engage in and believe in. So when Quan come out, excuse me, all he got to do is rap. Like I'm gonna make, God damn it, I'm gonna make it to where all you got to do is rap, bruh. And
It's crazy that you say that.
it became a
because
thing.
Before me seeing you dance and going to your act, all I knew that you could do was host and DJ. I knew you could sing because I heard you, you know what I mean, in between tracks. But when I see you break out dancing, I'm like, hold on, bro. I had to zoom up on that. Like, is that fresh? Like, he got the moves, man.
Bruh.
And I'm like, what?
It became a thing. Like
How long had you been dancing?
I have danced my whole life. Like, but as a DJ, I didn't break it out until I started dealing with Quan. Like, I was like, man, these folks got to see this, man. We got to really do it. So now, mind you, I'm in Atlanta at the time, and me and Quan is the hottest duo out. Like Fresh and Quan, Fresh and Quan, Fresh and Quan, Fresh and Quan. It was to the point where a lot of the DJs in Atlanta was kind of upset because they artists was saying like, excuse me, y'all got to be more like Fresh, man. He out there turning like it was a real thing. Like I promise you, I wish Quan could tell the same story. He will tell you like they was like, man, Fresh going crazy, boy. Boy, y'all be lit. Y'all be going crazy. So we had Sundome. We had all of these big arenas, and it's the show before the show. I'm gonna go out there and give them 7-8 minutes of fire. Boom, 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 boom. They like, bro, and Quan still got to come out. Then Quan come out. I be feeling like the man it's
Yeah,
up.
it's
Like
up.
it's up after that, bro. And you know, it became a thing. Like I'm gonna kill your show, and I'm gonna tear your DJ up if he got to come after me. Like people didn't want to come after me. Like they was like, man, just let me
Start
go
being
on
a
first. Like
DJ Fresh show.
start being a DJ Fresh show, and that's when it was a, you know, and I took that, and every time and then I would go find out who throwing the concerts. I would find out who was throwing the concerts, and go to the concert promoter, and be like, hey man, I'm the best live show you ever seen. I'm the best host, DJ, I dance, I do it all, and I would send them videos of me working, and I would be like, all right, well, you know what you charging? And at first I wasn't really charging nothing for it. I just wanted to be on the stage. Like I was just doing all of this until somebody caught wind of it and was like, hey man, I want to book you. And then after the first person actually booked me for it, then I started charging everybody like, you know, X amount of dollars for me to come and do it.
Did that set the number? Or was that...
Yeah, it that kind of set the number. Once the first person did it, then from there it was kind of on. Fast forward to today's time, they know if I'm gonna come do it, it's going. They know what it come with and they know what it's gonna cost because they see the work. Like it's one thing to talk about it, but to see it online is one thing. But then when you see it live, you be like, oh, it's a whole nother thing. Like they be looking like, oh wow. Like everybody tell me like, bro, we get chills watching it because, you know, that's what any DJ or any artist want to see. Sometimes I'll go on these shows and I'll be getting more love than the artists do. Like, and I think that come from me knowing exactly what to say to make the people respond.
Reading the audience.
You know, I'm
Get
going.
that engagement.
If you ever go to a concert that I've ever done, ultimately you will realize that I'm on there more than anybody is. Like more than any artist that perform, probably more than the headliner. I got the most time. I'm there from, if the doors open at 6, I'm there from 6 to 7. First act, in between that act. Second act, in between that act. Third act, in between that act. 15, 20 minutes between the headliner if he's late. 30 minutes if he's late. I remember one time we was doing a Future tour just recently. He was like an hour and a half late. I'm like DJing for a whole hour. He wasn't late, but you know, whatever he was preparing or whatever, I'm DJing for a whole hour and a half. You know, granted, they having a good time. Of course, they want to see who they came to see, but I'm holding it down for an hour, and I'm screaming my name every 3 songs. DJ Fresh, DJ Fresh, the world famous DJ Fresh, DJ Fresh, DJ. You can't pay for that.
The world famous motherfucking DJ Fresh in this bitch. After I go crazy, the next person on here is none other than fucking Lil Baby.
One day I just went and read the reviews on Ticketmaster. I didn't know they would put reviews on Ticketmaster, and my name was all through there. And I was like, oh yeah, this is
Making your mark.
this is it right here, you know. And that's what I do now. I DJ foreign artists. You know, I'm the backup DJ foreign artist, but I rather DJ for me. Like I like the DJ Fresh show. I like being able to promote myself. I like, you know, being able to talk to the crowd and engage with the crowd. I like doing me. And there's nobody I've seen on the live show that I think can do me better than I can do it. You know what I mean? So it's dope.
So going into these shows, where we see you with the Yo Gottis and Lil Babies, that's something that's already set there for DJ Fresh versus the artist. Because I see you doing what was the last place I think
Lil
I seen
Baby?
you, Chicago.
The last place was
That I know.
okay. So the last place that I did, and it just happened to be major because it went viral, was I DJ'd the second to last show on Drake's It Was All a Blur tour because Baby went and performed. So the thing that went viral is the introduction that I gave him. Like, so, you know, on Drake's whole tour, he been walking out of the crowd, you know, on some like wrestling shit. So, you know, it's set for me to just DJ for Baby. but they gave me an opportunity to speak while he was walking up. Because when Drake comes out, nothing's being said. It's just music being played. He's walking. So, you know, Baby's in the tunnel, and they give me the cue. I start playing the song, and I was just like, bring him out. Like I just start talking out of nowhere, and it grew so big, and it was like everybody just kept sharing it. Like, bruh, this is the craziest intro I've ever heard. It was like some WWE, bah, 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 bah. Little baby, can't be fucked with. He's walking up the steps, and now it's not preset. The song, I'm looping it while he's walking. I'm looping the song myself. So, and it was the song, that version of the song was specially made for Baby when he's on tour by himself. So if you if you ever get a chance to pull the video up, when you hear it, the beginning is like filtered. The beginning of the song is my fault. The beginning of the song is filtered. So it's like it's that part that be like, saying I got hands on my mind, I got in. It's filtered so you can barely hear it, but you hear the beat and I loop it. Loop. I don't know how long it is though. Loop. So when he gets, so I just guesstimate. When he gets to where I think I can let it run, I stop the loop and I continue to talk. Man, when he walked on the stage, the loop ended and his verse started. Perfect. Without like, I got years on my mind. Hey, I'm from the 4, but I love me at 3. Like, perfect. I was like, this is amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was dope, man. And you know, those stages, a lot of the times they be set, sometimes they don't. You know, sometimes I get to talk, sometimes I don't. But you know, I'm Lil Baby's backup DJ. Like, you know, and one thing I want to say that to everybody out there, because I get the question all the time, like, bro, how do you get on these big shows? Like, what, like, how do they know to call you? How can we start working some of these shows? Like, what do we need to do? Do we hit the promoter? And the piece of advice that I want to give to all the up and coming DJs, all the DJs that's been in the game and haven't been able to reach that plateau or do any big shows or do these arena shows. The thing that separates me from most DJs is the word availability. When they call me, I'm always available. If I'm not available, I make myself available. Because those stages and opportunities that come to you are some of those opportunities that you might not get a chance to get back. You know, I might have to do a party or something else. I would rather pay somebody a deposit back in a timely manner to make sure that I have an opportunity to hit the stage. So that, because a party of 200 versus arena of 23,000 is a big difference. So they're going to call you. So whoever this is to, they're going to call you. And when they call you, just make sure you're available. You're one date availability away from here and there. Like, you know what I'm saying? They might call you and you might not be available and they might not never call you again. Like, it just happens that way, you know? So if you're out here and you're grinding, I'm not saying don't do what you're doing. I'm not saying don't DJ parties. I'm not saying, you know, go around canceling gigs. Hey, man, I can't do this. They might call me today. Like, no, I ain't saying do that. But I'm saying make yourself available to do the things that you really want to do. You know, don't work so hard trying to make sure that you book yourself for everything, just to make sure that you're seen. Sometimes you got to make yourself just a little bit unattached from those minor things to get ready for the big thing. You know what I mean? So that's what separates me. Every time they call me, I'm available. Like today, or this week, I was supposed to go to Saudi Arabia this week. I was supposed to go to Saudi Arabia with Lil Baby. They called me. I was available. But, I think his DJ, his actual DJ, shout out my brother DJ Champ, I think he ended up being able to go. You know what I'm saying? But I've been out of the country everywhere, baby, because I'm always available. You know what I mean? And even if I don't stay on, or even I might do it today and might not do it for another couple months. But, it's under my belt. Like, because I was available, I was able to DJ at the World Cup, the biggest sporting event in the world. Like, because I was available. You know what I mean? So, be mindful. So look, I want to share this story, right? I feel like I could talk about it now because it's long over. So I used to do these vlogs. I stopped doing them just because I got busy. But I used to do, they call it the fly on the wall, and I would tell a story about somewhere I was at that nobody would ever know because I sit back and don't say nothing. So, and I've been in a lot of rooms, but this specific story, I'm glad it's over now. But it was a monumental time in hip hop though. So I'm in Atlanta. I'm cool with Meek, you know? I'm already cool with Meek. We've been kicking, I've been doing stuff, doing different shows, and he been around, and we having a ball. We in the studio, and in the studio, it's me, it's Meek Mill, DJ Don Cannon, DJ Drama, Nicki Minaj, Quentin Miller, and Quentin Miller's homie, and a couple other Dream Chasers. On this day was the day that Meek Mill first heard the records that they say that Drake didn't write. Like, remember in the industry there was a big beef between Meek and Drake because they were saying that he didn't write the records, and he wouldn't come to the studio sessions and all of that, and they were saying that Quentin Miller was the person that wrote them. Now, I personally felt this too, but nobody can write for Drake. I'm gonna explain why I say this. Nobody is sitting back writing verses for Drake because Drake raps too personal. Like, if you ever listen to a Drake album, front to back, he's gonna rap about the way he raps about it. You could tell it's his real. You could tell it's his life. Like he says names. He's super authentic. Nobody's writing a verse for Drake. They don't even have the brain capacity to write a verse for Drake. But what Quentin was doing was giving them just ideas and cadences of, on a song. Like anything any writer would do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think you should do this. I feel like you should do this. You know what I'm saying? This would be dope on this. You know what I'm saying? And he's playing the records. Like, I don't want to say what the records was. I don't want to say what the records are. But if I said the records, you'll be like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna say what the records are. Because it fucked me up. Like, I'm looking at this nigga like, whoa. But mind you, I'm just in there chilling. And Meek was the one that okayed me to be in the room. Like, I'm walking in the studio, Drama look at Meek, Meek look at me. He's like, he cool, Fresh is cool. He let me in. They shut the door. Nobody came in after me. I was the last person to walk in that motherfucker. And he's playing the records. And everybody's sitting in there like, damn. It's It's fucked up, man. Like, and that day is when the beef brew up, and that's when he made. That's when he started making. That's when he made the diss record. That day when he heard them records, like, and I was in there witnessing it. Like, I could not believe that before, like, that was the day that the beef started. Then after that, that's when it hit the blogs. That's when it hit online. That's when it was, there's been questioning about, whether so and so played the records or if he was the one who invited the whole session together. Like, and I'm like, man, nigga, I was in that bit. Like, it's hard for me to tell that story because it sounds so unbelievable. Because I wasn't the DJ Fresh that I am now. I was still just becoming who I was. But being in there and being able to witness that time in hip hop is like, that would be the equivalent of somebody being in the room the day Cassidy and Freeway battled. Mm-hmm. Like, social media wasn't really a prominent thing back there, but they recorded it, and everybody that was there, they seen it. It was like being able to be in that studio session to watch that battle with some crazy shit. Like, you know what I mean? But thank God to this day that they squashed that bullshit, and, they got a record together, quadruple platinum damn near, you know what I'm saying? Best thing that they could have ever did, and to this day, him and Meek are like the best of friends. So, it was just dope to be able to be in there and witness that in hip hop. And then to be able to watch it be overcome too, I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, that is a sweet story.
That shit is
a fly on the wall for sure.
Fly on the wall, sure. Boy. Like, I'm always in there, like, golly, like the emergence, just like the emergence of Lil Uzi. Before Lil Uzi became Lil Uzi, I was touring, and he was there. Like, me and Uzi dancing on stage together. Mm-hmm. Before the piercings, before the crazy hair, before the crazy tattoos. Me and bro just round skateboard, just chilling. We kicking it. You know what I mean?
Was he initially brought by DJ Drama, or did that?
Yeah, he was with Don Cannon and Drama at the time. Then too, because Drama was on this tour with the Under the Influence tour. It was Rich Homie Quan, Wiz Khalifa, Sage the Gemini, Ty Dolla $ign, Jeezy, HBK, P-Lo. It was a big like West Coast, meets East Coast type thing. Big ass tour. And bro used to be around. He was around on the tour. Not knowing that he was gonna be, Lil Uzi. Like, right. Because I didn't even know his name because I never had to say his name because we used to see each other every day. So I was like, what's up? Like, you know how you know a person and for years you might not know his name, but you speak every time you see him? Yeah. That's a real thing. Like, that is a real thing. Like,
definitely a real thing.
Man, like, I've been knowing this. We've been kicking it. I've been knowing this guy for years. We always speak, but I never had to ask him his name. I don't know his name. I've been knowing his name 10 years. I don't know his name. It's a real thing, man.
It's definitely a real thing. But you know what? It made me start capitalizing on that in reference to who I seen as my friends. And knowing them, like, because the society would say that we go by our street code and our name, and we don't pass on our government names to those. But you do got to be careful with that. But for the ones that are close to me, like, I think that's something in that situation that I went through with that night and going to jail and having my folks look. It was actually coming out the mix. You know what I mean? Being a knucklehead, got bagged, and you know what I mean?
It was a
time. Like, bro, that's crazy, bro. What you mean? Like, all right, bro, my name, I mean, nice to meet you after I knew you 10 years.
After we've been kicking it for 10 years. Like,
that's funny. That's funny.
That's a thing.
And you really don't even know, you don't know their name until somebody asks, like, oh, yeah, what's their name? And it's like, shit, I guess I don't know.
Sheesh. It's dope, though. It's dope.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that story because, like, that is, nobody else has that piece of information.
Nobody.
And that's living in your head.
Like, and I think about it every day. Like, every time somebody you watch the vlogs and they try to bring it up in a certain way. Like, and I watched the interview where they was asking Drama the questions and he really wasn't answering them. I'm like, I know who that is. Like,
that's so good.
It's dope, man.
Again, I appreciate you sliding through today.
Yeah, man. Just working. I got some time off tour. I did like 3 tours this year, and I was looking forward to another one, but they ended up doing something else with that situation. So I'm back in the city Club Fresh is back. It ain't been really Club Fresh in a long time, but Club Fresh is back. You know, I do my Monday nights where I do the all R&B night. Me and my partner Q, Mellow Mood Mondays. We do all R&B. It's a dope vibe over there on Coleraine at Prime. Shameless plug. But nice. We got to do that, and you know, I got a Wednesday night that I do.
Back into doing some mixtapes.
Yeah, definitely back into doing mixtapes, hosting and compilation. You know, doing that, man. I had a time with that. Like, we back on that. I got to do a show at Bogart's this week with Sexy Red. So that's gonna be set. Another one of the gyms that I broke out. You know, I was the first person to play Sexy Red in an arena, to get like one of the first people to actually play the record, period. But I was the first one to put it on the big stage. Yeah, you know, they team over there, they rock with me for that, man. So, you know, me and her got a show together, and other than that, man, just continue to work and grind, and you know, stay prayed up and stay available, man. You know, hopefully the DJ Fresh tour coming soon.
I was gonna ask, where do you see yourself? Because obviously you've been everywhere, you've done a lot of things, you've worked with a lot of great talent, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what is your game plan? Like 2 years, 3 years? Where do you?
I'm gonna be producing.
Oh, nice.
Like, that's my next feat. Like, it's just, I'm in the hard stage of it because I'm already so well blessed with DJing that I gotta go through the stage of learning something else again. And it's tough because I've waited so long. I've had the opportunity for a minute, but I just, you know, linked up with Sparks. You know,
shout out Sparks.
Man, I just linked up with Sparks, man. And we're putting some things together to help some artists and, you know, to help me with my production. And you know, I appreciate him. You know, he's been doing this thing, you know, for a long time. And I think it's time that we start giving love and showing insight and sharing flowers with the people that's already paved the way.
For sure. Yeah, shout out Sparks. That's my brother, man.
Me and him we about to link and go crazy.
Right on, man. Well, again, we appreciate you sliding through, and I'm glad we got you. I wouldn't say your downtime because obviously you keep busy, but I'm glad we were able to fit you in, and you're available for us. So I appreciate that.
Hey, man, since you local and live, why not? I'm here. We local and I'm live. It's lit.
How they can get in touch with you if they want to reach out to you and book you for business, or how do you go about that?
I'm a pretty easygoing guy. My Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I am DJ Fresh, all one word, no spaces. My Twitter, I am DJ Fresh, all word, no spaces. It's all verified. Threads, I am DJ Fresh. Or you can actually text the number 404-862-7994. I know people, it's like a hotline number. I know people don't really be giving out their number, but you can text mine, 404-862-7994.
Man, we appreciate you coming by today and shining light on those stories that you have, and especially that advice that you just gave. I mean, opportunity is everything, especially if it's going to enhance your career. Yeah, so I think that was a great piece of advice for people trying to get in where you are.
Yeah, that is dope, man. Opportunity is always thinking. If I feel like if don't do it for the money, like if you don't really love it, you know, don't do it because you think DJs make fast money and because you'll be disappointed. You know, do it for the love and the money will come.
Right on. Sure. Well, it's been Cincy Local and Live. It's been Randall Pink.
Cincinnati Ty.
DJ Fresh, man. Y'all know the vibe.
Tap in with us.
Word.
This shit gon' hit different, man. DJ Fresh in here. Fujiano, what up? New 1017 shit, nigga. What you thought I wasn't gonna join this shit? What kind of DJ host his own shit and rap his own verse? Real nigga, talk to him.
Baby mama ain't shit, no. She won't let me see my son, ho. But you fuck with him, mama pop my gun. Pussy ain't no one-on-one. Nigga, we come from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, pussy boy, them drunk. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Patch a nigga with that cap of shit. We gon' stump his ass just like a cow. The mayor, but she call me mouse. Got her to the spot, gave that bitch a perk. Now she geeking like a banshee. She couldn't even understand.
Talk to her, let go.
When I told her drop a pen.
Yeah, baby mama this, baby mama that. Shit, my baby mama got the racks. Yeah, can't even tell her ass where I'm going. She already know where I'm at. Okay, I'm on my knees at the dice game. She bet that I hit it right back. Yeah, and if I can't hit a motherfucking point, she up in the strap to get it back.